Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Please board quickly and safely. Our monorail will be departing momentarily. Thank you.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. This is episode 143. You're at ResortLoop.com. I'm Tim Scott.
I'm Bob Collar.
And Bob, I know you don't like these kind of shows because you don't know what the topic is.
I have no idea what you're doing to me.
I just said, let's do a show.
It's always frightening. Is there a buzzer involved?
There is not a buzzer. I'm not going to buzz you. Maybe I'll buzz you. I don't know. We'll see how I feel later. But I know we have a couple of shout-outs here. Before we begin, episode 143.
143, yeah. We got a very nice comment from Kaylee Knorr on Twitter. Says, Resort Loop always makes the drive to work better and headed to Disney for the weekend tomorrow. So this was, I think, last week, but that was very nice of her to do that. And speaking of driving, Tim.
Yes. I have another shout out here to Mr. This is off the Facebook.
Off
for Mr. David Zanini.
Yes.
This is amazing. Now, he said he's got 560 miles to go.
Yes.
He has over 100 Resort Loops downloaded for the ride.
Wow.
I told him, I thought you wanted the trip to go fast. I'm not sure you're listening to all those. But then, maybe they just drive really slow.
A glutton for punishment.
Oh, he is. But David, thank you very much. Nice picture of them in the car going down the road and our logo on their iPhone.
Yeah, very nice. Thank you very much for that. Really appreciate that. And I have one more from a good pal of the show, Emily Hansa Hicks.
Emily.
Again, you don't need three names to write into us. Emily says, I have to stand up for Spice Road Table.
Ooh.
Yeah, we absolutely loved it and literally wrote home about it. Great prices, relaxing environment, and tapas portions, which in quotes she says, try lots. So tapas must mean lots of portions. We are taking the whole family back in January. So there you go. It's all about personal preference.
Absolutely. Hey, if you like it, more power to you.
I'm sure plenty of people like it. Otherwise, they wouldn't have built the restaurant. There were plenty of other restaurants around World Showcase that they could have expanded upon.
Maybe they will as time goes on.
Yeah, but then where's anybody going to sit and watch the Illuminations or whatever the next incarnation of Illuminations will be? Where's anybody going to stand to watch it?
I'm sure they've thought of that. Elevated platforms.
Or you just gotta buy the dining package. Something like that. So, Tim.
Yes. What are you wondering? What are you wondering, Bob?
With trepidation. Did I use that word right?
I'm not sure. I'll look it up.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. What, Tim, is the show going to be about today?
Today, the show is all about, well, not all about, but it's about Bob Collar.
It's all about me.
It's all about Bob. Wasn't that the movie?
It is. It was with Bill Murray and Richard Dreyfuss. Yeah. That's a pretty funny movie.
Yeah. Specifically, we're going to talk to you about your cruise. I'm going to ask you some questions about the cruise. I don't want to tell you ahead of time because I didn't want you to, have a bunch of time to think about it. I want kind of first impressions.
Right. Well, you are the big cruise guy, so if anybody can ask the questions, it's you. Yes.
Well, there's no right or wrong. I'm not going to break out the buzzer on you. I'm going to be nice.
I've only been on, of course, the Disney Dream.
Well, there's worse ships to be on for your first cruise. Let's be honest.
Absolutely.
Could have been on the Concordia.
By the way,
sorry,
too soon.
I guess so.
Too soon. Oh, you might as well have taken a Malaysian airliner. Oh, wait.
Whoa.
That's way too soon.
I thought you wanted to get there.
That's,
gosh, I know. Inappropriate.
Yeah. A lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. But anyway, the Disney Dream is actually, you're right, bigger. It is bigger than the Magic and the Wonder.
It is.
I don't know if you knew that.
Strangely enough, I did.
Wow. See, that's why you're the Disney expert, cruise expert.
But they're all fabulous ships, so you couldn't have gone wrong for your first cruise picking any of the four, honestly.
Oh, absolutely. And to be honest with you, you were right again.
I know. Yeah, I know you hate to admit that. Everyone hates to admit when Tim's right.
Man.
Tim's right more than people think. See, I'm banging on the table.
But here you go again. There you go again.
But to refresh people before we get too deep into it, what
Yes.
cruise did you go on? How long was it? What was
We
your
only
itinerary?
did the 3-day, and that's what I'm getting at. You said that's not enough time. And
Yes.
it wasn't. I don't think I would go on anything less than a 4-day cruise the next time.
Okay.
Four night. It's the night they do by nights, right?
Yes. So you did the 3-night?
Yeah. We didn't. You were right. You said you're not going to even know the ship well enough.
Especially
After
the big ones, the new ones, the Dream and the Fantasy.
Yes, exactly. Real quick, I'll tell you a great example of that, and that was my wife and I. We did one of the special things that adults only can do. You know, the kids were busy doing their thing at the clubs.
The show took a turn.
No, it did not.
Oh, okay.
Will you
Sorry.
stop it?
Sorry. Go ahead.
There's no turn. Wow.
My goodness.
You know, I have to edit so much out of this show.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
Because of you.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
We actually went to the Meridian Lounge on deck 12 of the Disney Dream for a whiskey tasting.
Hey.
We did, they had different tastings, wine tastings and scotch, and whiskey was one of them. And I don't know anything about whiskey, so we decided we were going to do that. And that, of course, was in Meridian at the back of the ship on deck 12. We were late getting there because we could not figure out how to get there. So I don't know if they could come up with some better signage, but it was we were about 15 minutes late for a half-hour presentation.
Oh, wow.
So, but I got to tell you, the cast member, and again, I wish I could remember her name. She was spectacular. She should just kind of hang out there. We'll get you some whiskey, and I'm not going to stop what I'm doing now, but I'll come around to you afterwards. And after she did the presentation, which we only missed half of, she came over and did the full presentation for us.
Wow.
Again, sat with us. It was just my wife and I and the cast member talking about whiskey. So very nice. It was very nice. But you're right. These are big ships. And just because you're on deck 12 at the front of the ship doesn't mean you can get to deck 12 at the back of the ship.
That's true.
That's what I learned.
Sometimes you got to go up a level, down a level, and walk down and walk back up. It kind of depends on exactly where you're at.
Yeah, at one point I think we were rappelling along the outside of the ship. I'm not sure. It was.
Were you on the aft of the ship next to the characters that were working on the back of the boat?
Yes, actually I was. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. So, but that you were right. Again.
I think the sweet spot is probably 5 to 7 days.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, you're probably right. 4 nights probably isn't even enough, really. But again, it depends on where you're going too.
True. 5 nights, I think you get the double dip at Castaway Cay, which I don't think you can go wrong with that.
What?
I know, twice.
Nobody told me. You didn't tell me about.
Oh, I told you. You didn't listen.
Twice?
You didn't listen again.
I want to live on Castaway Cay. Are you kidding me?
Don't you, though?
Oh, my God.
Like Gilligan's Island.
Yeah. Yes.
We rig up bikes. You know, the wives could pedal for power.
I wish that Disney had a 3-hour cruise, because I would do that, knowing I would end up on Castaway Cay for the next 10 years.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Oh, it's so beautiful over there.
So real quick, I want to know.
All right.
We're not even on the boat yet.
Oh.
Quickly, I want to know, because everybody always talks about this, and you might have mentioned it on a previous show, but real quick for new listeners, your thoughts when you're cresting the hill on the way to the ship and you see it for the first time.
Oh, yes. It is, it's massive, and you're still probably about 5 miles away.
Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
Our very first cruise, we couldn't believe. I mean, it wasn't even as large as the ships are now. We still couldn't believe how huge it was.
Yeah.
These ocean liners are amazing.
Yeah, just beautiful. And the closer you get, the more the anticipation builds, and then you pull in to Port Canaveral. And I know for me, I was driving. It was difficult to drive and not rear end somebody, because it was just, all I wanted to do was look at the ship.
Exactly. And what'd you think about the, what do you call it? The terminal, the Disney terminal.
Beautiful terminal. Beautiful. You can go out. They have that balcony, so you can go out and watch them load the ship, and just look at how big it really is. Plus, it's very, very comfortable. They had Disney cartoons running on all the monitors, so that you could sit down and just really relax before you even got on the ship.
Exactly. Now, I know this, but our listeners might not know this. You went cruising without passports.
I did.
Tell us about this.
Technically, I was without a passport.
Oh, that makes me uneasy. But I want to hear how you guys did this.
Now, we did have the pass cards, because I don't know. Again, for the new listeners, the old loopers know, I can be known to be cheap.
Yes, the F word, frugal. You're a frugal guy.
Thank you for cleaning that up. I don't have to edit that out.
No.
Anyway, there's a difference between the passport and the pass card. The passport, you can go anywhere in the world, but it's much more expensive to get. And with a family of 4, that adds up. That kind of stuff adds up. But we enjoy, because we're so close. We're only 3 hours from Niagara Falls. We still wanted to be able to go into Canada to go to Niagara Falls on the Canadian side. So we looked at our options, and we discovered there is a thing called a pass card. Now, the pass card looks like a little credit card kind of thing, but it is cheaper. It's about half the price of what a passport is. And a pass card allows you land entry to the United States. So driving into Canada or Mexico, you can do that. And it also allows you to do cruises from the United States and back to the United States. Now, as you said, you were very nervous about this, because what happens if something happens in one of the ports and you have to fly home? Now you're kind of painted yourself into a corner.
Right.
We decided to take that chance. Now, the other thing I heard from the person that booked our cruise was, you can still use birth certificates. You don't even need the pass card.
Wow.
I feel very uneasy about doing that.
I don't like carrying around my birth certificate. That makes me very anxious, wondering, don't lose it. Where'd I put it?
Right.
Right.
And again, this is really the first time going really out of the country. I mean, Canada is our sister to the north, so I didn't think I'd really have a problem coming back into the country going into Canada. But going into the Bahamas, you just don't know.
Right.
And but had absolutely no problem coming back into the United States. The pass cards worked great at the terminal. They scanned them. They said, you're good to go. No problems. You'll be able to come back in with no problems. So it's just an option. It's another option if you like to cruise, but you have no intention of flying out of the country. It's a nice option to, and a little bit less expensive. So
absolutely,
that's what we did.
Okay, now again, we're going to stick with the beginning of the cruise. First cruise.
All right.
Impressions, since you had no basis for anything here. Cabin size, amenities.
Oh my gosh, you had raved about how big the cabins are, and I thought, okay, but they are quite spacious.
Yes, a lot of people expect like a shoebox size, which used to be the case years ago.
Right. Now we got the family veranda.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, what are those decks 5, 6, and 7? I think
that sounds about right. Yeah,
something like that, or category 5, 6, and 7, I should say. We were on deck 7, and it was beautiful. And I tell you, the best part was having that veranda. I would never be able to go to an inside cabin.
I know, it's tough.
Just being able to be out on that veranda, looking at the ocean and the sunrises and the sunsets, and even when we were in port, to be able to sit on the balcony, drinking our. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Joffrey's coffee, the official coffee of ResortLoop.com. Being able to sit out there and enjoy the ocean like that it was spectacular. As a matter of fact, the very first, as we were leaving port, we were out on the balcony, all of us, and really comfortably, the four of us out on the balcony, and watching as we left Port Canaveral, and shocked at how many jellyfish were in the ocean.
Oh, really?
It was crazy with jellyfish.
Oh, I can't say I've seen jellyfish. I've seen sea turtles, dolphins.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I've not seen jellyfish. That's amazing.
There you go. Yeah. So, the rooms were beautiful, very large. I only tripped one time going into the shower.
Oh, okay. The step up.
It's a step up. But very happy, very, very happy with the cabins. And the turn down service at night is wonderful. You don't even have to think about it.
No.
The room is set up with the couch and the table. And then at night, when you come back from doing whatever it is you're doing throughout the ship, the cast members have already come in and turned down so that you have both those bunk beds. We had the bunk beds for the kids. So that was very nice.
Yes. Split bath? Are you a yay or nay?
Split bath, I loved it.
Isn't it great?
With my wife and daughter.
You were going to say two women. I heard you.
Two women. Well, yeah, my daughter's a woman now. Yeah, these two women.
Yeah.
But
no,
yeah,
I love it.
I mean, it was wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, I can't rave enough about how great the rooms are.
Excellent. Now we're going to switch to. We're not going through all the different dining options. Just tell us what your favorite restaurant was. Favorite dining.
For me.
Yeah, for you.
For me, Animator's Palette.
Oh.
Because it's, I'm a kid at heart, and they got the Mickey chairs throughout the place. I got to actually interact with Crush from Turtle Talk. With Crush, he was, I didn't even know he was talking to me. Because the monitor was behind me, and I was looking at a different monitor, and he keeps talking about my shirt. And finally, I turned around to see that, oh, wait, he's talking to me. So that was very, very cool to be able to interact with him. Now, my daughter loved the Enchanted Garden. It has kind of a French flair to it a little bit, and my wife enjoyed the Royal Palace because she's a big Cinderella fan. So. But my son and I were big anime. Well, my son was an Animator Palette fan for dinner, but absolutely loved, more than anything, the ice cream treats over on Deck 11.
I was going to bring that up. That is actually one of our favorite things to do.
He sat there one day, our last day on sea, and he kept going back. And he was shocked that I would let him go back.
Oh, you're not paying? You've already paid.
Well, and my son weighs probably all of about 120 pounds, and he's 6'1".
Right.
Already. So, if he eats a bunch of ice cream, I'm not too concerned about it. But he went back for 5 ice cream cones, so he absolutely loved it. But I also got to throw a shout out to Cabanas. I thought Cabanas, the restaurant, the buffet restaurant, was very good. As was Flo's Cafe when you're out on the deck on Deck 11 and you wanted to just go grab a quick bite of, like your normal chicken tenders, burger, pizza, something like that.
They have good options there at Flo's.
Yes.
That's actually one of my favorite little fast food, area thingies anywhere. It's right there.
Right. So that was very nice. We didn't do any of the room service. I wish we had.
You didn't do anything in room service?
Well, I take that back. We did do coffee and like Danishes, donuts one morning.
Should have got the Mickey bars.
I know you said about the Mickey bars, but again, I don't listen to you.
You don't.
For 3 nights.
3 nights, yeah.
And there was no time.
That'll be something for your next cruise. But anyway.
Next cruise, yeah.
All right. Now, on board, just to give people an idea, how many things did you purchase that were not already included in your cruise fare? Excluding tips. We all know the tips are not included.
Excluding tips. Well, this is one that bothered me. I'm gonna go negative on you here. All right?
Hey, it's your cruise.
This bugged me. Okay, my son likes root beer. He's a root beer drinker. That's his thing.
Okay.
Back in your day, it was called sarsaparilla. But we were at Enchanted Gardens. And he ordered a root beer. Okay, here's your root beer. Waiter came by, and as you know, very attentive. The wait staff is very attentive. Came by, and he said, "Can I have another root beer?" The waiter said, "Sure. Can I see your room card?" And I didn't know what he was doing. I thought maybe it was some little funny special thing he was going to do with the room card, because my son had ordered himself. And he came back with the root beer and the card. I thought, okay, that's odd. Well, come to find out, root beer is extra.
Root beer is extra.
Extra. Cost me $2 for the root beer. I could drink any kind of Coca-Cola product I want, but root beer, nay.
Wasn't it Barks root beer? Because Barks is like...
hello?
I think he was trying to pull something over on you.
Very upset about that. I got charged extra every time he wanted more root beer. That kind of bugged me. Now, getting back to your question.
Yes.
There was that. There was, of course, the whiskey tasting that my wife and I did. But other than souvenirs, that was it.
Okay, I was going to say, there's usually not a whole lot we need to actually purchase outside of the the cruise fare.
Right.
Like you, maybe a special coffee or something?
Yeah, I suppose they probably had that, but as soon as we got into Cabanas, as soon as you get there, as soon as you board the ship, they usher everybody to Cabanas for lunch. That's where we saw the Joffrey's coffee, and we were set for the rest of the cruise. We didn't need anything else. But the other thing that bugged me, and we did not purchase it, but it bugged me, was that they charged for popcorn. If you wanted popcorn in the theater, any of the theaters, you got to pay for popcorn. And I'm thinking, really? It's popcorn. The cheapest thing on the face of the planet, I think, is popcorn.
I've shelled out how much to be on this boat.
Exactly. So those were the only two things that kind of got under my craw. But, you lose that negative feeling very quickly. So... other than that, we got a few souvenirs, which were very nice. And as you and I have talked about many, many times, I stack any kind of discounts or rewards cards or anything like that. And I was able to actually get a very nice cruise travel mug for free.
Oh, okay.
Because I stacked some discounts onto my Disney Visa card. And was able to use the rewards from that to get a little bit of free merchandise.
Oh, that's a great tip.
There you go.
Great tip.
Not to mention, and you turned me on to this, the onboard ship credits that you get depending on who you book through.
Yes.
So look at that, and that will help as well.
Now, during the cruise, anybody have any motion sickness or seasick issues?
My wallet got sick a couple of times. I noticed that. It was not happy. But no, everybody was good to go.
Excellent.
So
I know that's why a lot of people will take the 3-day cruise first, because they're just not too sure.
Right, and that was one of the considerations as well. Yeah, for us.
Excellent. Now on the cruise, did you or anybody in your family do any of the nighttime entertainment? Any of the shows?
All right, I got to be honest. The whole time leading up to the cruise, I kept saying, I am not sitting in a theater. I've paid so much money for this cruise.
Right.
I am enjoying outside. I'm enjoying being on the water. I am not going to waste my time in any of these, seeing any of these shows. When we got on the ship, we went to every show, including going to the Buena Vista Theater and watching the Walt Disney Theater, I'm sorry, and watched the new Maleficent movie.
Okay.
With Angelina Jolie. So we caught every one of the stage shows because there is time. There's time to do that. You think that there's not going to be a whole lot of time because you want to do so much stuff on deck. But with older kids, especially my kids, older kids, we didn't really spend a whole lot of time in the pools because the pools are so small. So the theaters were wonderful. And I got to tell you, Broadway performances by all of those wonderful cast members and performers on any of those shows. They were spectacular.
Yes.
So I can't rave enough about how good the shows were. I was shocked at how good the shows were. Shocked. They were wonderful. So it was very good. And Maleficent is a great movie. I can't wait till it comes out on DVD. I want to get that.
Oh, very nice. I know when we were on our cruise, the Avengers were playing.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't want to really sit in the theater for that long of a movie.
Yeah.
I just didn't, but...
Well, I got to be honest. The Avengers were... the second Avengers movie was playing... Captain America Winter Soldier was playing. And my kids one night the two of them went to watch it again because they just love the movie. So, it's nice because you've said this many, many times. The ship is very safe for kids, and especially older kids are able to kind of explore on their own. And they really enjoyed having that kind of freedom. And my wife and I enjoyed a little alone time, just the two of us, walking around the ship and enjoying some coffee on deck. And it was very nice. It was very nice, relaxing, very, very relaxing.
Very relaxing. Like you said, you don't have to worry. So you really don't have any guilt. We're dumping the kids off.
Right.
Waiting to pick them up. Or have to rush and do whatever we got to do. Because, they're having a great time. They might not even want picked up when you want to pick them up.
True. That is very, very true. Yeah.
So our rule always was, you have to have dinner with us and breakfast with us. At the very least.
Right. Yeah, that's smart because you're still keeping tabs on them. You're knowing where they're at most of the time. So, and those phones on the ship are very nice. We didn't end up using them at all, but it was nice knowing that we had them if we needed to.
Oh yeah, we used ours occasionally to check in with our kids too, just to check in.
Right.
Made us feel a little bit better.
Right.
Okay, we should probably start wrapping pretty soon, but
Uh-oh.
Caller family, were you going to go on another Disney cruise, do you think? What itinerary do you want to do? Where do you want to go? What do you want to see?
Well, I tell you, I would absolutely love to do the Mediterranean cruise.
Oh.
I think they're gearing up aren't they putting one for a Norwegian cruise as well? Aren't they going up around... I'll have to look and see what their cruise... Barcelona, Spain, Denmark, England.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I just about anywhere. But if I had, if they said you could go on one more cruise and that's it, I gotta say, I really, really would love to do the Hawaii cruise. Just so that I could then end it at Aulani. I think that would be awesome.
That's a good call. Let me throw out Alaska to you, too. Consider that one.
Yeah, Alaska looks beautiful.
Everyone needs to see Alaska once.
Yeah, I've been looking at some of the Disney Mom Panel folks that have done the Alaskan cruises, and oh my gosh, it just looks spectacular.
Amazing.
So the one tip I will say is, one of the things you really want to think about is setting money aside for those excursions because those are not included.
They're not included. Alaska, they were not atrocious, but they were high.
Yeah, it's not cheap. We didn't do any. Of course, the only place we were was Nassau, and we decided to do the excursions on Castaway Cay, which were very reasonable actually. Mm-hmm. Compared to Nassau. So loved Castaway Cay, and like I said, I want to live there. So, there you go.
Awesome. Well, if anybody else has any questions for you, I think they should contact us, or especially you. You're becoming a cruise expert.
What? Not
I know.
me.
You are.
You're the cruise expert.
I've not even been on the Dream yet. I've been on the other three.
Oh, but you're going to be.
Yeah, next spring we'll be on the Dream. So we'll do the Grand Slam. But I just thought we should get a little update on your cruise since you had a little time to sit back and think about it and adjust to your land legs.
We did get when of course my wife and daughter went ashore at Nassau and got some jewelry, again, I'm cheap, so I don't allow them to spend a whole lot of money. Allow them, see?
No, exactly.
Oh, my wife is going to kill me.
Yeah, well, you also edit that one out too.
Anyway, they are very good to me and don't spend a whole lot of money. And we got questioned by the port, what do they call those guys coming back?
Oh, yeah,
customs, the customs guy. coming back into the United States. He couldn't understand that we had only spent like $25 on jewelry. So apparently I look like a big roller.
You do. You're obviously hiding something. You didn't even have passports.
Right. I'm thinking, dude, I'm too cheap to buy a passport, for goodness sakes. You can't see I'm too cheap to buy expensive jewelry. Hello. So there you go. So, Tim, you can say the words that I typically say, because I still have plenty to say, but you can say it.
Bob, I think that's all I got.
Well, that's not all I got. Let me continue. So anyway.
Is that how I keep going when I'm done?
No.
Bob, thank you so much for sharing all that. That is awesome. I think that's a lot of good information there for the listeners. I think they'll enjoy that.
Absolutely. That was a good idea. It has been a while, and it was nice to refresh those memories. It was a good trip.
Excellent. Well, everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott. You can find me on Twitter at ResortLoop.Tim. You can find us at the website, ResortLoop.com.
And I'm Bob at ResortLoop.com as well, and Resort Loop Bob on the Twitter and Instagram. And don't forget Facebook.com/Resort Loop. Like us over there. Some folks have been doing that. We really appreciate it.
That's right. Send us opens. Send us some iTunes reviews.
Absolutely. And where else can they listen, Tim?
I would always try to tune us in on the Stitcher.
The Stitcher.
Excellent, everybody. Thanks for joining us. You've been listening to The Gateway to the Magic.
See you, everybody.
That's good stuff right there.
Is it?
No. I lost track of where I was going to go. Okay, 23-26. That'll be an edit point.